Hi guys, a couple of weeks back I had reviewed the Autel AP200, and in that review I promised to do a video on key programming using this device. I'm going to attempt to do an all keys lost to this 2003 Honda Accord. Now let's get this. So as you can see, the master key works, the green light is fixed and it goes off, it doesn't blink. However, when I put in the valet key, which is this one, you can see the green light is blinking on the dash, and that simply tells you that it's not going to start the vehicle. So it won't start. I'm going to be doing an all keys lost, program in this valet key, and that will make the master key basically not start the vehicle. I'll then add the master key back using the add a key function. I'll just hook up the AP200. So there you go, I have that key in the ignition. I'll just power up the MaxiAP AP200 app and we're logged in. The first thing we'll do, let's go to service and then we'll go to immobilizer keys. We select the Honda, please connect to the VCI. So and it connects, I'll do a manual selection, this is USA. So let's go to hot function. Keep the ignition on until the tester tells you to turn it off. Tester cannot program keys with a T5 stamped on the blade. There's no T5 stamped on this blade, and so on and so forth. Let's go ahead. It tells you it's the third immobilizer. So let's just check the number of keys. Yeah. Only one key, which is the master key, is registered. Then let's add and delete keys. So we're going to do an all keys lost. We'll click on all keys lost. This function does necessary registration for registering all keys. When the customer doesn't have any registration key or the key cylinder is replaced, all key codes in the memory of the immobilizer control unit are deleted and the key code of the unregistered ignition key is registered. It goes ahead to tell you the things you need: key in the part list, key cylinder, blah blah blah, market setting, correct dates, password for inputs to the diagnostic tool. I don't think I'm going to need that. Just go ahead. Asks how many keys I want to program. I'll enter 1. Turn the ignition off. And I turn that off. Turn ignition on. Switch the ignition off within 17 seconds. Turn the ignition on within 14 seconds without changing the key, so I do that. Turn the ignition switch off. Turn the ignition switch on. So and it starts programming. Is the immobilizer indicator light turned off? And as you can see, it's turned off on the dash. There's no indicator light there. I say yes. Turn the ignition off. Turn the ignition on. And it goes ahead to confirm that the key registration has been completed. Turn the ignition off. Check all key access remotes to ensure they will still start the engine. So I'll check this one. As you can see, it starts the car without any problems. And just to show you, so that's the key there. I'll just kill the engine at this point. So this key program. Now the previous master key, which was what was starting the car, let's try that now. You're going to see that it's not going to start the car. So and as you can see, what was happening with the other one is now happening here. And it's not going to start. Using the programmed key, I'll add the master key back via the add a key function. Turn the ignition switch on with a registered key. So I've put in a registered key, which is the key we just programmed, and the green light has gone off, so I'll just select add one key. Gives you all the details. Okay. Turn the ignition switch off. Turn the ignition switch on. Green light is now flashing, which is in programming mode. It says turn it off. So add a new key, put in the new key. So I've put in the new key. Turn the key off. Turn the key on without changing the key. Turn the ignition off. Turn the switch on. It starts programming. Is the immobilizer light turned off? Yes, it is. Turn the ignition switch off. Turn the ignition switch on with the key that has just been programmed. You do that. The registration of one key has been completed. Turn the ignition switch off. So again, check that all other keys work. I'll take this one off and then put in the one that we did an all keys lost for. So as you can see, light is off too. So that's how you program keys for the 7th generation Honda Accord using the Autel AP200. I'll leave a link in the description in case you want to get this. If you found this helpful, like, share, comment and subscribe. Thank you very much and catch you on the next one. Cheers.